Let's see what's cooking. Let's get the facts. Let's see what's cooking. It's time for Yo-Yo Max 12.
Hi there, today we're making a Patrick cupcake from the Spongebob cartoon series. I made a Patrick and he turned out quite well, and I'll show you him in a second here. That I realized at that point that I had deleted it from my camera by mistake. There he is. So I thought I would make another one so that you could see the technique. So here we go. You're going to start off with a sugar cookie cut out into a star shape. I tried to make this cupcake by drawing him directly on the cupcake, and it didn't work very well. I found the surface of the cupcake to be too small. So I baked up some sugar cookies in star shapes, let them cool, put them on a rack. I used a sugar cookie mix for these, but you can use any sugar cookie recipe for this. Okay, start off with some white icing. This is just commercial icing out of a can. I'm adding some paste food color with a toothpick. This is pink, it's Wilton pink, and I'm just going to stir it around until I get the color that I want. You're also going to put this icing into the microwave for a few seconds just so that it is liquidy and that it flows well, and you'll see why in a moment, why that's important. So once the icing is a color that you like, you're going to simply spoon it over top of the cookie and just let it flow over the cookie and over the edges until the entire cookie is covered. The excess is going to drip off onto the plate, and if you have a lot on the plate, you can scrape it off and put it back in the container and heat it again if you need to. Now I'm just giving the cookie a little shake here just to encourage the excess icing to drip off. Now Patrick has kind of a speckled appearance, so to imitate that I'm just using some red colored sugar, sprinkling a little bit on just to mimic that same effect. And if you notice there's a couple places where the cookie isn't covered, this is a good time to just make sure that all surfaces are uniformly pink, and then let it dry. And you'll know it's dry when you touch it, that the surface won't be tacky anymore, and that takes about an hour or so. Now to draw on Patrick's little swim trunks, I'm just using some green icing. This is buttercream icing I made myself. I put it in a Ziploc bag and cut out the corner. So just trace on the little swim trunks and then use a knife or spatula to smooth it out and just to fill in all the little gaps. Just like that. And after the icing in the cookie is really dry, you'll be able to scrape off any excess that you don't like. There's like little purple violet colored flowers on Patrick's swim trunks, so I'm just adding those on with the same technique with the Ziploc bag with the hole cut in the corner. And if you don't like the way the flowers look, you can use a toothpick or the tip of a knife just to flatten them out or spread them out depending on how big you want them and how you want them to look. For the eyes, I'm using white icing and black icing in a Ziploc bag with a teeny tiny corner cut out to make a very fine line, drawing on the eyebrows, the center of the eyes, and Patrick's mouth. And his little belly button. And there you go. I put it on top of a cupcake, but you could just as well serve these just as cookies. They're really cute just on their own.